fellow budgeters, my name is Brandy and you're watching From Debt to Dreams, and on this channel we are paying off over $400,000 worth of debt, but don't you fret, more than half of that is our mortgage. And today what we're going to do is we're going to do a July or a June closeout. So this month, with the way that paychecks fell, we had a June 6th through July 3rd pay period. June was a crazy month. May was a crazy month. May was crazy because school was letting out. We were getting the debt consolidation loan, all the things. So I didn't do a May closeout. I don't think I did, at least. I guess I did when we went through over there. Now June was crazy because we left for a week-long vacation. Some of our really, really good friends came in from Vermont. Another one of my best friends that I've been best friends with for almost 30 years came in from Utah. And it's just been, and it was my birthday. So we just it was like bing, 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 thing. And so I didn't do the closeout stuff very well, because it was just kind of an anomaly month. And then on top of that, because it ran June 6th through July 3rd, I don't have a mortgage payment in this month. I don't have, so it just looks funny. So I didn't write down our monthly budget over here. I will get back to doing that for July because things are just a little hectic. And then right now we're trying to get ready to get the boys back into school. They start school on July 17th. They are a year-round school. So anyway, here's what we spent from June 6th to July 3rd. Actually, our starting balance was $377. The earned income that we put into our checking account was $6,595. The other income we used could be anything from people paying me back for things or just random things. That is $706. We used $604 in savings, which made our total monthly inflow was into our checking account, because this just applies to checking account, was $8,282. So for our categories, we spent $67 in our household, $1,007 in groceries, $640 in cars, which meant that we got an oil change, and that's oil change and gas. Utilities was $525. We did really great on takeout. Majority of that, though, is because a lot of the takeout that we did, a lot of the eating out that we did is categorized under fun, because we did things with the friends when they were in town. So takeout was $234. Our tithes this month was $146. We spent $161 on health-related things. Our kids are at $419. That is huge. A lot of that is because Josh spent that extra money on PlayStation, and we have not been able to get that money back. PlayStation is giving us a hard time, and we are running out of time in our window. It's really annoying. So I think we're just going to chalk it up to a loss, which sucks. But we did fix the problem in the sense that all of our payment information on all of the video game things, or anything where our son is anywhere playing games and can easily spend money, all of the payment information is now behind password walls or is completely off of the apps and stuff. And then we also got my kids will start playing soccer in the fall, so this includes the soccer registration. This includes some new soccer equipment that we're just going to slowly trickle and buy as we can. Jason, this is my husband. He spent $65. I spent $27. We did not have any of our annual fees, or did we not? We don't have any purchases for our dog Sadie, which I need to preface that all the dog food that we buy, it comes out of our grocery budget, so I don't categorize it as for her. We put $890 into all of our savings categories, which could include sinking funds, Christmas, and our minis, and our play and pay binder. We made $1,362 into debt payments. Fun and entertainment, this is where it goes crazy. We spent $1,099 on fun, which included a vacation to Columbia, South Carolina, included time spent with friends when they were here from Vermont, time spent with friends when I was with, when she came to visit me from Utah, and that was about it, I think. So that was a lot of money. Celebrations, this one's a little high because we spent, my son's birthday is July 21st. We bought his birthday present early because he asked for it early, and then my birthday was the end of June. We also had a couple of people with graduations that I knew, so I gave them some graduation money, so it's a little higher there. And then we have this really weird, we paid for my mom's car to be serviced while she was away on vacation, and she paid us back up here with this other income, so it's kind of, it evens out. But in total, we spent $7,665.34, and our starting balance for July is $537. So when you add the total spent with our starting balance, it comes to $8,203, which means that I am roughly $79 short, because this number should match this number or get really close to it, and I didn't get there. So that's all right. It's not too bad. I probably messed up with the cash somewhere because things were so crazy. Let's talk about our net worth really quickly. This kind of gives you a little bit of a spoiler on the debt stuff. Actually, let's do debt, and then we'll go back and do our coloring pages. So my husband's student loan is one payment, but there's 5 or 6 loans listed in that loan. And so what we're trying to do is pay, right now we are part of that SAVE. We were a part of the SAVE repayment plan that was thrown into a bunch of court cases. And so now we are in no interest accruing forbearance, which is really great. The catch though is that any payments that we make during this forbearance does not count towards any public student loan forgiveness if my husband ends up going down that route, since he works for a nonprofit or whatever. But the good news for me in that sense is that there's no interest. So we're trying to still make payments, and we're making payments on my husband's student loans on the highest balance, so that when the interest does start hitting again, it's not so high, I guess, for those ones. So right now we are moving in between what I have labeled Fed Loan 6 and Fed Loan 5 in my husband's. And so this month we did Fed Loan 5. We paid $335, which brought the remaining balance to $15,220. All of these balances remain the same because I did not make a payment on any of those. And then my student loan is $85, so it went down to $22,058.76. Our debt consolidation loan was $942.91. That's our payment. There was $670 in interest. So it went down to $63,255.52. And for our mortgage, we made a payment of $2,080. The interest was $753.58. So our total on our mortgage left over is $277,680. So our total debt now today is $429,172. I'm not going to fill out this because I didn't write down the interest because I was really confused last month with me using the debt consolidation loan money to pay off the debts, and then all the other stuff. So I didn't do this in May. So we're not going to worry about that until next month. But here is our net worth. Last month I didn't calculate our net worth because I couldn't figure it out, everything just got really weird. So here's all of our liabilities, which is basically me listing out our debts again. So our debt balance is $429,172. And then here's what our assets are. For our assets, I only count the cash we have on hand and the cash we have in the bank accounts. So our liquid cash. I'm not really, if and when I do get to open up a high yield bank account, I will count that one as well, but I do not count the value we have in our home. I do not count the value we have on our paid off cars. I do not count, I do not go and check in on what our 401ks look like or anything like that. This is just the cash I have on hand. And my ultimate goal is for our cash, our monthly net worth, to be in the positive when it comes to all these liabilities being zero, and or having these assets be higher than these liabilities. So anyway, our assets are only $5,680, which is one of the highest we've had in a while, thanks to sinking funds and then the leftover we had in cash envelopes. And so that brings our net worth at negative $423,491, which, like, okay, cool. It doesn't really mean anything. It's just something that I like to use to do the things. Okay, so now we get to color in our stuff. Okay, so this is my like finance binder or whatever. This is what I use to do all the things. Okay, so we're talking about June. So here is the color I was using for June and all of my other videos. This is the color I'll use right now. This is all of these trackers come from debtfreecharts.com. And this one is for our emergency fund. Remember, our first financial goal is to get to $5,025. So that's where all of our extra money goes into. Theoretically, June we had to spend a lot of money, but thankfully we did not go into further debt for that money. We just used all the money that we had been saving. So anyway, so each of these are worth $50, and we, in my bank account right now, our savings bank account, we have $795. So we get to fill all the way up to here. I'm not going to fill, this one goes up, this one says 800. I filled in the thing. So we can't fill that one up yet, but I'm going to color in all of these and I'll be right back. All right, there we go for the starter emergency fund. These we can skip. These are all part of my husband's federal student loans. We didn't make payments on any of these until we get to Fed Loan 5, which here in June, we made a payment of $335, which puts our remaining balance at $15,220.87. We started at $15,718.27. So each of these education doodles are worth $157.18, and I get to color in 2 of these today. So let me, I'll be right back while I do that. All right, there we have it. This is for Fed Loan 6. We did not make a payment on that one this time. That'll be next month. And then in here is my federal loan. So we made an $85 payment, which puts us at $22,058.76. We started at $22,483.76. Started meaning when I started tracking these. I've had this student loan for 11 years. Like, it's embarrassing. So it's been low, or it's been higher than that. This is just when I started tracking in January of 2025, okay? And so each of these leaves are equal to $56. So I get to, I think I only get to color in one. Let's look. 22483.76 minus 22058.76 equals $425. divided by 56 equals 7.58. So yeah, I should really only do 7. How many do I have in here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I'll just do 1. I'm not going to color in a half of 1. That probably just means the next month I'll get to color in 2. Okay. And this next one is our debt consolidation, and we get to do this one for the first time this month. So we started with a debt consolidation loan at $63,527.48. Whew. In June, we paid $942.91, which means our remaining balance is $63,255.52. Now, the coloring sheets for these are different than, it's not just one coloring sheet for this whole loan. I used all the old coloring sheets from all of the debts that we have, that we paid off using this loan. So, and then this was just a little bit extra. So I calculated how much each one, of course, is still going to be worth. So today we have paid off, because of the interest, $271.96, and so each of these equal $25. So we get to color in 10. So I'll do that and I'll be right back. Wonderful. All right, so we get to skip all of these, and then we go to our debtress, which is for our mortgage. Our mortgage balance is $277,680, and I wrote down all of them in years. So each puzzle piece is $1,450 basically, and so the next one is going to be at $276,000. So I won't be able to this month. Doesn't look like I'll be able to next month either. But my goodness, my computer is freaking out. But I will, hopefully I'll get to do that soon. Okay, and then this is our overall debt. So I don't fill out one of these until the debt is underneath the debt balance is under what this thing says, and the next one is $428,081, and so we are at $429,072. So we're not quite there. Maybe we'll get there next month. So this is just a very long-term page that I can't wait to color in all the way. All right, my friends, well, that is it for my month closeout for the month of June. Yeah, it was kind of a crazy month. So hopefully things will look a little different for July. I'm hoping that we'll just get to throw a ton of money into our savings account, and it'll be really, really great. We don't have anything crazy going on. Probably just need to buy the kids some school supplies and some school clothes. But I do have a school envelope for that, so hopefully we won't have to dip into any of our savings account for that one. So, all right, my friends, have a really great day, and I will see you next time. Bye.